Right, here we are. Hey, Nikki. Hi, 7 viewers so far. Good afternoon. Happy New Year plus 1 week. We're going to wait for some folks to pop on. This is our first Q&A with Big J of the new year. Very excited. I'm coming at you live from our home office here because we have a snow day. Hope you've all been able to shovel and plow and snow blow and get yourselves where you need to go if you need to be somewhere. We get the benefit of working from home when we have a snow day, so that's really great. But today is going to be pretty exciting. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. I'll take any questions you may have so far about the upcoming camp season, kind of give you an update of where we are with a lot of things related to programs and activities and health and wellness and staffing and all kinds of cool stuff. We're not going to talk about every new thing today. There are some things coming out in the near future we're not going to discuss yet until they're finalized. And then we're also going to release a lot of information about activities, especially the big stuff on our camp calendars, which will be published by the end of January. All right, everybody's coming on here. Give it another minute or so. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone had a great holiday, great new year. Hope everyone's staying safe and healthy. Hope COVID is not impacting you as much as it may be impacting others. You know, we're still working through this whole thing together. So I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's feeling good. If you don't get a snow day and you're coming here and on your lunch break, thank you. If you're coming from home and watching with the kids, thank you. If they're home from school, hopefully you have a true snow day and not one of those work from home days. Hey, Unique. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Meredith. Hey, Kelly. Thanks for commenting. All right, I think we can get started. We're going to be recording this. We are recording this. It's going to be posted up on our main page, on the Parent Association page, which is where we're broadcasting from now. That seems to be where most of our viewers come from. If anybody knows anyone who's not able to get on Facebook, just let them know. It will be recorded. We will post it. I'll throw it up on YouTube as well, which is public access. And one of the things we're going to talk about, actually first, we're going to be doing live streaming a lot more events like this with me, with other members of our staff, and during the summer from various campuses, trips, events, things like that. But we're going to have live stream from the new website. We're developing a brand new website. So the first thing I want to mention to everyone, our current website still sort of works, but it's kind of old and it needs an update. And you know, it's not as easy to navigate as it once was because the way we use the internet and the kinds of devices that we have to browse the internet and websites has changed over the years. So we've done a complete redesign from top to bottom, and it's pretty amazing so far. It's not complete yet. We're going to launch end of January. It's going to have all the information you need about the upcoming summer from the perspective of returning families, prospective families, you know, new folks coming in, staff information about enrollment, dates and rates, that kind of stuff. Really easy to navigate. Lots of great new features that we're going to be adding, including a live chat feature right there on the website. So different members of our full year staff will be able to chat with you. It's really great to get instant access instead of sending an email or maybe even picking up the phone at sometimes. So it's via a dedicated text feature. We're also adding some other features with links to our app, Companion, easy access to your camp account, you know, a dedicated button that runs through the entire site, so you don't have to remember your login information. You can just click through and you can save that stuff to your phone or your desktop or your tablet or whatever you're using. So that's coming out end of January. It looks really great. It feels really great. It's going to be a lot more vibrant than the current site, a lot more features. One of the big features we're adding is a really comprehensive blog. And blogging is pretty great for getting out new information. It's going to run in tandem with live events like this, but we can release new information about camp. We're going to include writers from our staff, myself and others who work for us. We're going to involve campers over the summer, doing articles over the summer about their experiences and getting experience writing and publishing blog articles online. We're going to ask parents to jump in and do some writing too, and maybe offer some perspective, not just about the camp experience, but parenting in general and things they may be interested in, and some other guests too from within and without the camp industry. But our blog is going to be a really great feature of the website because it's going to feed into all the information about the summer, but keep everybody acclimated to what's going on as it happens. And it's going to be kind of a source for all things Camps R Us, where you can subscribe to it. You'll get updates in your email, your news feeds, on your socials, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to be pushing 4 major social media platforms for Camps R Us right now. Our Facebook, obviously we're here now. Instagram, Twitter is going to become a bigger one as we publish this information, and also YouTube, where we start sharing a lot more videos. We do still have the posting capabilities with Campanion. That's the internal app. If you were with us last summer, you were using Campanion quite a bit. We published last summer just north of 18,000 photos and videos, which is amazing. Based on the statistics from other camps and other organizations, we were one of the top publishers of videos and content. We're just going to increase that even more and really kind of give parents a window into camp through that. But we're going to do some highlights on social media and through the blog as well. So it'll be pretty great. As I mentioned, we're going to be releasing the camp calendars for all 11 campuses by the end of January. It's going to coincide with the launch of the website. You'll have access to all of the calendar information. A little bit different feature this summer. They're going to be a little interactive. I know sometimes the way the calendars are published, if you've been with us for a number of years, they're very graphic based. They're kind of cool to look at. They're colorful. It's really to get everybody excited about things, but they don't offer a ton of explanation about some activities, which we don't want to be a mystery before summer. I mean, we do like surprises. We do like getting everyone excited to look forward to things, but we really want everyone to know what to expect out of the summer and set those expectations early for the summer, so you can know what to expect. It'll help those folks who enroll based on the calendar, if you pick certain days or certain weeks depending on activities. So the calendars will be a little interactive this year. You'll be able to highlight and click through to additional information about programs and activities and events and trips and traditions and all that kind of stuff, which will give you, information derived from our website. You're going to have that stuff on the back end of our website, where it'll click through maybe to an article that we wrote, or it might click through to a page where it describes that activity in particular. So that'll be a great feature that will coincide with the launch of the calendars, the website. We have a ton of new trips this year, a lot of new events, a lot of new things that we're bringing in. Over the past 2 summers, we kind of held, stagnant a little bit with bringing in a lot of new things. And that's because during the first couple of summers with the pandemic, we wanted to stick with vendors who we really knew and had an understanding of how they operated. And we didn't really want to explore outside of those boundaries and kind of chip away. What we normally do is add a few new things every year. So for the past couple of summers, we kind of maintained and stuck with the vendors who we've been with and really tried to support them through this and help everyone out. A lot of our vendors are also small businesses, mom and pops, and they need, supportive camps like us and other camps, really stuck with their vendors when they travel. So this year, we're just expanding upon that. We're adding a bunch of new trips, especially bonus trips for our older campers. We heard from parents that we really want more trips and more opportunities for trips. But then there's other families who don't want to necessarily have them by default, so you have the option to add them on as bonus trips. Lots of cool events, both things that come. Oh, everybody hear Dottie in the background? That's our Dottie, our dog Dottie. I don't know what she wants, but she'll come in here if she needs something pretty bad. So we added up these events and brought in a lot of vendors who are going to come travel to camp. I don't want to release the specifics yet. We want to do that with the calendar release, but it's pretty exciting. A lot of different things for a lot of different age groups. And, we've also changed up and put new spins on a lot of our traditions as well. So, things that we've done in the past, like Shindig and Pinewood Derby and Crazy Hat Day and Color War and all that kind of stuff, we're going to take an interesting take and a new kind of vision for a lot of these things, kind of update what we've been doing, and release some great new programming for the kids. So a lot of stuff to look forward to there as far as activities go. The big activities on the calendar, our special events, our theme days, trips and traditions. So those are coming out end of January. And we'll release more information. We'll kind of tease a little bit as we get things built with the calendars too. Moving on, some program updates. Program meaning our camp groups, how we organize our groups, is pretty much the same as it's been. We have our early childhood programs, that's our Tiny Tots and Kinder Camp programs. And then grade-based programs, grades 1 through 6, and our teen programs at 7th, 8th, and 9th graders, including the 9th grade C2 program. That's our version of a counseling training program. And then we also have Sports Track, which was introduced recently at our Syosset campus with great acclaim, and it was very successful. We are rolling it out at an additional campus this summer. It's going to be joining the Baldwin campus as well. So we're going to have 2 campuses running Sports Track. That's a program for grades 3 to 6. It's co-ed. That gives campers a focus on athletics, gives campers a focus on sports-specific programming. So they follow a structured schedule just like our regular camp programs, but most of the non-sport, non-athletic activities are taken out in favor of more court sports and field sports and things like baseball and basketball and football and volleyball and chuck ball and European handball and all that great stuff. With things like gaming and game room, we focus on esports. They do the billiards and all that table game stuff too, because that kind of runs in those kind of activities. And then they also have their own field trips and bonus trips that are more derived from an active type of trip, where they're going to be doing some type of physical activity by default, and experiencing that, kind of a little bit of amped up competition, amped up skill building, using different equipment for certain activities, where kids who have a real desire to play more sports, to be more athletic during the summer, have that opportunity now at camp, but they still have the opportunity to participate in special events, traditions, trips, things like that. So it's a great balance for kids maybe looking for more than what we normally offer from an athletic standpoint, but maybe not quite going to a sports-specific camp or an athletic style camp. It kind of strikes a nice balance between the two of those. So it was very successful over in Syosset. We're bringing it out to one of the campuses in our Southwest region, Baldwin. The cool thing about Sports Track is if you're not at that campus, you can transfer over there for Sports Track. If you're transferring from a different campus, you do get free extended hours. So if you need that extra time for travel, that's available to you. So if you've been at a different campus other than Syosset or Baldwin but want to transfer in for Sports Track, you can. It's pretty cool. You also have the opportunity with Sports Track to do the same type of enrollment with our regular camp enrollment. So your choice of weeks, your choice of anywhere between 2 and 5 days, those same options apply for Sports Track as well. It's led by a dedicated group leader, a coach, someone who has that expertise and that background in athletics, in phys ed, that kind of stuff too. So we'll be re-releasing Sports Track information. Sports Track was designed in the past kind of as a separate optional program. Now it's going to be one of our camper divisions. So when you enroll, starting next year, you'll be able to enroll specifically in that division. For now, you just enroll as normal, and if you're looking for Sports Track, you just give us an email or a call or shoot us a message on the new website once that's up too, and we can get you transferred over to Sports Track and confirmed. Pretty easy. There's no extra fee for that. It's the same price as the regular camp fees, so it's just based on your time at camp. Pretty great. Grades 3 to 6, co-ed for Sports Track. If you have any questions as we go along, folks, just throw them up in the comments, please. We'll get to them as quickly as we can. And we're going to keep moving though. So along those lines, we have a bunch of new activity updates too. So one of the big things that we heard back in parent surveys and camper responses to questions, throughout the summer, we kind of touched base with them and really just asked campers what they're looking for, and parents too. Through the survey responses we got a few hundred survey responses last summer, which was fantastic. you really give us a sense of your perspective about, how we're delivering on our promises for camp. And one of the big things was programming, and programming is and activities are really at the essence of what we do. It's all the stuff we do at camp, and we're talking more now, moving into the daily activities, the scheduled activities that we do on campus. One of the big things that we focused on this year was investing in staff at every program. So we have 8 different programming spaces that are staffed specifically with a specialist or a member of our program staff. So you've experienced this in the past with a few of them. There's been arts and crafts and dance. EduCamp has a certified teacher, doing that program, which is a couple of times a week. We'll talk about a couple of changes coming to that too. But now and you've had an athletic director at every campus too. What we've done this year is we've expanded our hiring to include 3 athletic staff, to include someone who is responsible just for running water activities. At camp we call it the splash zone. So we're enhancing that type of programming. We have someone running our new area of camp. It's called WonderWorks. WonderWorks is an evolution of an area we used to call Innovation Lab. Basically what we're doing is splitting Innovation Lab into 2. So Innovation Lab was really designed to be a creative outlet, creative play. So we did things like Legos and building programs, robotics, that kind of stuff, a lot of STEAM activities. But the way it was programmed, we kind of felt like the STEAM was getting pushed to the side because it does require someone to really specialize in that educational component of the play. So with WonderWorks, we're still keeping all the creative play alive, and it's going to be curated by a program staff member. But we're also bringing some of that STEAM-based content into EduCamp. So EduCamp is going to focus on the ELA and math as the 2 primary subject areas. But now we're bringing STEAM activities in there as well. Our EduCamp teachers have a full curriculum that's been written for them. It's taking away from, it's kind of going in a different direction from where we've been, kind of using a nationally based curriculum, and we customized it for the camp experience this year. So the new curriculum is designed around our camp schedule. It's going to be thematic. Kids are going to be doing projects and lessons that are based on what they're doing at camp, which will improve engagement and help campers to really feel like that EduCamp is part of the camp experience as opposed to something they were pulled out of an activity for. EduCamp is still optional. It's still free. We are opening, I believe we're opening 30 slots per campus in EduCamp. I don't have the exact numbers. I should have had them in front of me. But when we release the information about EduCamp, we'll let you know about enrollment, about the timeline for enrollment, so as far as how many kids we can accept per age group. We are still running it. We're going to go basically K to 6 with EduCamp, so elementary age basically is K to 6. We're going to run that with the math, ELA, and STEAM. And it'll run for 6 weeks of the summer. So we'll release more information. All the stuff that I'm talking about today, we're kind of doing an overview today, kind of letting everybody know where we're at with some ideas and some things. But this was a big one from the responses we got to parent surveys with the WonderWorks, with EduCamp, and then overall having more program staff and really focusing on staffing the program as opposed to our prior focus, which was staffing the groups. And, that was also an issue through the pandemic, too. We had cohorted groups, as most of you who've been with us know. The pandemic required us to have certain group sizes, and we couldn't mix a lot of groups. And when staff needed to mix with different groups, there was a masking issue, a distance issue, all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about health and wellness and what's going on with that stuff in a little bit, but the policies and all the guidance and everything is allowing us to hire differently. And we are going through kind of a hiring boom right now, so we're going to talk about that a little bit too. But that's going to allow us to staff more of the areas of camp and really program things a lot differently. It's pretty great. One other thing coming up this summer with swimming, one thing we went away from, again, during the past couple of summers was swim testing. And the reason we did that was because of the shortage of lifeguards, but also the limited access we had to pool facilities and the varying schedules we had to follow. So it was very difficult to do that. The issue is because most businesses and most, areas of the economy are still experiencing staffing issues. It's still hard to get lifeguards to dedicate that time for swim testing for us. What we normally do at the pool is we have our aquatics director. At every campus, that's your program director. That's your second lead person at camp, runs the aquatics program. So is at the pool facility whenever we travel off-site for swimming. That person is responsible for doing all of our buddy checks, coordinating with our pool activity leaders. Those are American Red Cross certified staff who are responsible for supervising pool activities. But all of our campers over the past number of summers were considered non-swimmers. That's still the default case for this summer. Everyone comes into camp identified as a non-swimmer, including staff, which means more or less you have to be in water less than chest deep. So on my Camp Sarah sweatshirt here, basically right where Shades Rays start at the top there, right above his sunglasses is chest deep. So that's the rule. You have to be in water less than chest deep as a non-swimmer. Now there are a bunch of campers who fall short, I hate to say it that way, but fall short of that requirement, and they have to be in water that's a lot lower on their body. And it's not as fun. And we understand that they might be swimmers and might have the skills necessary to be in deeper water, but by law, we're classified as non-swimmers. So we're going to allow the option for swim testing. It's only going to be happening preseason. So we are in the process of working through the details of this, but swim testing can happen if your child goes to a swim school, if your child has a Red Cross swimmer card, as long as they, have demonstrated that ability within the past year. And we're going to be posting the specific requirements. They're pretty basic, pretty simple things, but you just need to know, I think there's 6 or 7 of them that have to be met. And you can provide that information to have your child classified as swimmer this summer. We're also going to be setting up with a facility in the springtime where you can actually bring your child if they don't go to swim school or if you don't have a Learn to Swim program near you. You can visit this facility and they'll be able to swim test you there and provide that documentation to us directly. So more details about that are coming out as well over the course of the winter and the early spring. But it's a great new feature to allow the folks who want their child to be swim tested to have that opportunity. But also anybody who doesn't feel like it's necessary can be considered a non-swimmer for the summer. That's fine too. And we'll strike that balance between swimmers and non-swimmers. But we'll be, like with everything else, we'll be releasing more information over the coming weeks and months on that kind of stuff. So moving on, talking about some health and wellness things. We are still in a pandemic, and we're still navigating this as a summer camp, as a camp on Long Island, as a camp that's part of local and state and national organizations. We've worked closely with colleagues of ours to help us navigate the pandemic safely. And we were successful both in 2020 and 2021, and with different degrees of success depending on how you look at things. But from a health and wellness standpoint, we were very successful. We had no outbreaks at camp, only a few cases reported last summer after no cases reported in 2020. Most of the camps on Long Island experienced cases last year because our enrollment was back up closer to normal. So more kids, more people closer together, more cases, kind of how you see what's going on now. And we hope that this new wave and this new variant are going to pass us quickly. But we are preparing to have the pandemic with us for another summer. Last summer, for those of you who are just joining us maybe this year, we published an extensive parent guide, different than any other parent guide we ever published, that was really more detailed about health and wellness and safety and security of campers from a health standpoint than ever before. That will continue, and we will have policies that the pandemic has taught us and we're going to keep in place to keep everyone safe from any type of communicable illness or virus. It's important that we recognize that some of the things we've done to mitigate issues with the pandemic are really things we could be doing or that we could enhance all along. Things like enhanced cleaning protocols, just reminding campers which we always did about hand washing and sanitizing, but having more time scheduled for that. The wearing of masks is something that's still up for debate for camp. We are examining best practices with the local camp industry and with the Department of Health. Last year, all camps on Long Island, all day camps on Long Island, followed guidance that was published June 7th. Even though state requirements for masking and other things changed after that, camps were asked by the Department of Health to maintain those standards, and we did, and the entire industry came together and did that. But we are working with a panel of industry experts, committees that we're part of, to make sure whatever we're doing is in the best interest of all of our campers, our staff, our parents, the whole camp community. So know that as we release policy on this kind of stuff, it's going to be in line with what has been proven to be best practice so far. We have a lot of information coming out, nothing right now specifically, but right now, like everyone else, we're kind of waiting to see what happens. One interesting, great thing that we're doing with the health and wellness spin is we have entered into a partnership with Northwell Health. Northwell is the largest healthcare network, the largest health system on Long Island. And through their Go Health urgent care centers, we've partnered with them to offer a lot of great features for a lot of great health tools to help us with injury and illness prevention, to help us with responding to injuries and illnesses at camp, to have the expertise of doctors, nurses, physicians assistants, and other health professionals, at our disposal through the summer, pre-summer, through the summer, and after the summer as well. And that extends also to our camp families. So with Northwell, we are given a couple of things. We have priority access for our campers, our staff, and parents at all of the Go Health urgent care centers on Long Island. That allows you a special portal to make appointments to go to an urgent care center, whether it's related to a camp injury or illness that's derived at the camp through the camp day, or something on your own. You have that by being part of the Camp Service community. Our staff, our health certified staff, will have access to physicians and physicians assistants if they have questions about injuries or illnesses that present at camp. And if they need additional care, they'll be able to get some telehealth updates instantly through video chat from our campuses or from any venue that we travel to. And they'll be able to speak with someone right away who can help them if they need additional assistance outside of their scope of training. And then can also coordinate with any type of emergency care that might be required should that happen. We also are enlisting a bunch of experts from Northwell to assist in staff training this summer to talk about common illnesses, common injuries, conditions that arise at camp, things that we've always trained on, but now we're going to get a new voice in our training. And Go Health has partnered with other camps and has a lot of data on common injuries and illnesses, how to prevent them, how to look for things that can also help our non-certified staff in their daily care of our campers. So this is really a great new opportunity for us to have access to professionals from this amazing organization that has access to other features of healthcare that parents and campers and staff may be able to use as well. For example, if you're unable to schedule an appointment for a physical exam, which, as most of you know who've been at camp, that's required every year, you can schedule a physical exam at Go Health now. If you need COVID testing, you'll have priority access for testing. If you need any other type of diagnostic testing that they offer, you'll have priority access for that as well. Or if it's just a regular visit because you're not sure why your child has a fever, for example, you'll have priority access for that too. And we can coordinate communication if something happens during the summer and we need to coordinate care with Go Health. Of course, parents can be brought into the telehealth and be on the call together with us and be apprised of what's going on. And, these kind of situations, rare as they are, can happen, and we need to be prepared, and we need to make sure that as parents that your child is safe and that you have peace of mind. And if you've ever heard me talk about camp, that's a big part of being a camp parent is peace of mind, and knowing that we are acting in place of you as a parent, and we are taking care of the kids just like you would if you were here, or if they were home, or anywhere you might go. So we want you to have that assurance that we're doing everything we can to keep our campers safe and healthy and well through the summer, but also extending that access to our staff, of course. We want to keep them just as healthy and safe and well. And to parents, too. It's important that you have that access as well for yourselves and for your children. Along those lines, too, talking more about social and emotional health. We're entering into a new relationship with an organization called Kids Need More. Kids Need More is a program that helps children considerably here on Long Island, children in need. And, we are going to be helping, them out with a lot of their fundraising efforts. We're going to be helping them out with a lot of their infrastructure needs, things like that, anything we can do from our standpoint as a camp program. But from their standpoint, a lot of the folks who work over there have a lot of experience and are also licensed as social workers, and we're going to be bringing them in for staff training to help our staff with aspects of mental, emotional, and social health training, which is something we've identified is a big need these days, especially for kids and staff coming to camp and dealing with the pandemic and dealing with the way life has been different over the past 2+ years, and really, trying to hone in on how camp can heal and how camp can be a place of hope and of a restorative nature with friendships and family and feeling that spirit of camp, and using the tools that we have at our disposal through this education that we're going to be giving to staff. We think it's going to be a really great benefit for the folks, at all of our campuses, all of our camper staff, and maybe even parents too. So we're going to be joining with them and kind of cross-training with their staff and inviting them in to give us that background from a social worker standpoint, folks who work with kids of all ages, with teens, with adults, to help our staff to relate better and to help our staff provide the level of care that we think is going to be essential for a successful summer. Talking about staff, we are in the middle of a big hiring phase. We hire staff pretty much, all 10 months of the off season, from September through the summer, right up into June. So we are hiring. If anyone on our call or anyone who wants to work at camp, please send them our way. It's campsorus.org/staff. Our new staffing portal on the new website will be a little easier to navigate, but you can find all the information on the old site for now. You can also send information right through Facebook. You can apply there. You can also email us, info@campsorus.org. You can call the main number, 877-850-CAMP, or hit us up through any social media platform. It's all at @CampsRUs, one word. So the cool thing about our hiring practices are, we look for a diverse staff. We look for local talented staff from the neighborhoods where our camps run. We look for, young staff. We look for staff who are more experienced and have more expertise. We also look for parents to work at camp. And if you didn't know, we do have a lot of parents who work at camp as well. And receive great benefits for working at camp too, including, discounted or free camp in some cases for their kids. So the other cool thing too is, we generally look for a full-time staff member, but we're also starting an initiative where we are hiring part-time staff. We're hiring staff who can only give us a few weeks or maybe a few days a week, maybe even only a few hours a day. And we're going to be encouraging folks, even if their schedule isn't fully accommodating of our full summer, which is the 8 weeks, 5 days a week, you can still apply for a job and we might have something for you. So definitely check that out if you're interested or ever thought about working at camp. If you have a schedule that gives you a few days off every week and you're looking to pick up something to complement your career, you can do that. It's really something that I can say is transformative. When you work at camp, it can change your life. Your job basically is to change lives every day as a camp staff member, but it really can change your life. And we're going to be sharing testimonials from me and other staff members, people who've worked for us before. You're going to see these start coming out on our socials and when the new blog comes out, talking about all that stuff. And, just some stories and things that we can share to inspire folks to come work at camp and to really be part of an experience that's unlike any other. Whether it's someone, who's just starting out in the workforce, a young 15 or 16-year-old looking to be a junior counselor, someone who's looking to do an internship, can really look at camp as a great alternative, or even in some cases, a better alternative to a traditional internship, because the skills you learn as a camp staff member kind of pervade every employment experience, every type of job, every type of career. The things you learn as a staff member, the things you pick up, the people you interact with are varied and interesting, and of all different ages and abilities and backgrounds. The communication skills, the leadership skills, critical thinking, risk management, the creativity that's required to be a camp staff member, the discipline, the responsibility, being able to both be a great follower and a great leader at the same time. All these great things about working at camp. So we can't encourage you enough. If you're interested, or anyone who's interested, apply. Come work with us. We are receiving applications by the dozens, every week, but we're still looking for more folks. As you all know, or as some of you maybe don't know, we have 11 campuses to staff. We have some amazing directors, and they're interested in talking with you and going through that too. So I have come in those past 40 minutes or so to the end of my list of things I wanted to talk about today. I want to open up for any questions and see if anyone has anything to share who's on our call. Give it a couple of minutes for people to post anything they want to ask. As I mentioned, and as we're waiting for some comments to come in, we have a lot more to share. This is kind of just the first step. And, we were doing these Q&As. We did about 6 or 7 of them last year leading up to the summer, and they were really successful. And we're going to start introducing them again this year, but, we're starting a lot earlier, and we're going to do them more often. We're going to try and do them at least once a week, depending on the week, of course. But also to coincide with articles that we're writing and information that we're sharing in different ways too. So you can get, a live update here. You can read about some new stuff that's coming out, on our blogs. We're also going to have some published content, pre-recorded stuff that comes out as well. Alrighty, let's take a look. Oh, Lisa, thank you. Great reminder. So we have our first ever Camps R Us pop-up store. And a pop-up store, pop-up shop is a limited run of camp apparel and accessories that we're going to do seasonally. So right now this is our winter pop-up, so you can get a bunch of great winter apparel like shirts and sweatshirts and sweatpants and pajama pants and socks. And I ordered myself a winter hat. I need a new winter hat to cover this beautiful ball dome up here. It's up only through the end of this coming weekend. So you want to definitely check out the winter pop-up. I will post the link in the comments here, and we'll also throw up another post on our socials so that everybody can find it. I'll send it out through Companion as well. I'll send out an email to remind everyone this weekend too. It's a really great shop. We're not, selling stuff here to make a profit, stuff like that. We're just trying to spread the word about camp and get you some cool gear. It's also a new logo for us. Each seasonal pop-up will have a different design, so it's going to be available for you just during this pop-up. So right now, let's see, we have 3 days, 11 hours, 15 minutes, and 32 seconds right now. And I'm going to throw up the link here to the store in the comments. It's pretty great stuff. It's all high quality stuff. We've seen the samples, and it's really great. And we know a couple of other organizations, school districts, and things who use the same company. And you can see on here when you look at it the cool winter logo we came up with. We'll be doing another one in the spring. If this one's successful, of course. Also, with the new website, eventually we'll be launching a full year camp store where you can get camp apparel, you can get labels for the summer. We'll be releasing information about a couple of label companies we're working with as well in the coming weeks. So that's pretty cool. Thank you, Lisa, for the reminder. And also, Lisa is the person who spearheaded this for us. I should mention a big new initiative this summer. Well, not this summer, this year. We've really invested in our full-time staff. In the past, our year-round staff was really small, and included me and my dad, Gary, our executive director, founder, um, and then Dorothy, who kind of handled registration and all the executive administrative stuff. For most of the year, like wintertime, it was more of a part-time thing, and then she picked up full-time in the spring and summer. Um, but we realized as we've grown, we've really needed to scale up. So we've introduced and hired 3 new staff members. So Lisa, who just commented about our camp store, is our executive assistant, but also the person in charge of all of our ordering, all of our apparel, swag, all the cool stuff that we get. I don't have it here, but we also updated our camp backpack this summer. You're going to see a couple of new t-shirt designs coming out, but she handles all that stuff on that end. She's also the person who primarily right now picks up the phone. Dorothy still works for us, but Dorothy's been out of commission for a little while with an injury, so she'll be back soon. But Lisa's been handling all the registration stuff in her absence, in addition to all this other cool stuff. So Lisa's working with us full time this year in that capacity, really helping with supplying us with all the things we need. If you were with us last year or the year before, we had an issue with our t-shirt supply. That will be a thing of the past, thanks to a lot of her hard work too. Also full time, we have Tracy. Tracy, I believe, is on the call too. She commented earlier. And Tracy is our new director of operations. Operations for camp are pretty extensive. It involves all of our equipment, our schedules, all of our transportation needs for trips, supply chain management as far as all the supplies and activity materials we need, coordinating with our special operations team. That's a group of our staff who are specifically hired just to handle events and setting up equipment and things like that, and it's a big undertaking. So she is responsible for the really operational side of camp and really making sure things get done logistically. It's a great opportunity to have someone in there full year. We've never had a full year operations person, director of operations, so we're happy to have her too. And then also, and I'm very excited about this, maybe a little bit more excited because she's my wife, but Cheryl is our new creative director, and she's also in a full year role, and she is primarily responsible for programming and for activity production, and really making sure all of the events and theme days and trips are planned and coordinated and facilitated. And she'll also be responsible for training our staff how to take those ideas and make them reality. But her job also includes early childhood programming, EduCamp, things like that. So we're very excited for Lisa, Tracy, and Cheryl to be part of the team. Full year has really, it's more than doubled our capacity to get great work done in the off season. We've always been busy, but this year we're finding opportunities to really kick it into a new gear and to really make Camps for Us, even greater than it's been. We've had some wonderful summers, and as an old running joke, I call every summer coming up the best summer ever, because it is. We always get better and better, but it's really important to know like this summer coming is going to be unlike anything you've ever seen before. So we're really excited. We're really excited to have those 3 women on our team. We still have our founders, our executive director Gary, and I guess the co-executive director, health and wellness director Joanne, my parents, still working with us. And then as soon as Dorothy's on her feet full time, she'll be back as well. So we have a really great full year team. We have a really great seasonal team as well. Had a great meeting this past Wednesday with our leadership team, 22 campus and program directors, 3 regional directors, our full year human resources director, another Jason. Remember, if you see us together, I'm Big J, he's Little J, for obvious reasons. We have a great team. So we're here. We're really making sure that even though it's a snow day and we're not really thinking of summer right now, we're only a little more than 6 months away from camp opening, and we are very excited. So I think I'm going to wrap it up for today. If anyone has questions, concerns, comments, anything you need at all, please reach out to us. I'm going to throw up all my contact information up in the comments here. And that in here. I don't think anybody needs my fax number. There we go. All right. So if you have any questions, you can always call the main office. We even get phone calls when we are working remotely. We have a great phone system that forwards right over to our cell phones, so you can always reach us. If not, leave a message. We'll get back to you. Our website, the existing website still works. Don't mind the homepage. We literally can't update it because it's such an old site, but the new one's going to be fantastic. And then, of course, that's my personal email. Feel free to hit me up there, or info@campsforus.org. I'll put that here too. All the socials, all that cool stuff. But for now, I'm going to sign off and say, see you soon. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Bye.